One of the programs thousands of Mainers count on each winter to help heat their homes is the federal LIHEAP program, but that money can only go so far.
And it often falls on smaller nonprofit organizations to pick up slack. That's where your Project Heat donation comes in. Here's News Center Maine's Dawn Kerrigan.
Do you intend to be in Maine for the entire heating season?
At Midcoast Maine Community Action, the phones keep ringing.
So is your heat or electric included in your rent?
Callers from Sagadahoc and Lincoln counties looking for help to keep warm.
So none of it's included though.
I think the need is very strong. Luckily, we've had a very mild winter so far.
The agency manages heating assistance programs for the two counties. Their biggest tool is LIHEAP, the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program funded by the federal government.
We're doing about $585 on average for a household. Last year we were doing about, not us, but Maine State Housing was awarding around $1,300 in assistance for some of these folks.
And when that money runs out, the agency then looks to other local sources, including funds from the United Way and Project Heat, because the calls for assistance don't stop.
The reality, of course, is that every city and town and neighborhood has people who struggle to afford their heat. And with federal LIHEAP funding cut back this year, it makes donations more needed than ever.
In Lincoln County, that's where the Community Energy Fund comes in.
I call it with a ragtag volunteer group because we don't have an executive director. All of our positions are volunteer.
Todd Moorer and Robert Clifford started the Energy Fund 19 years ago. Moorer owns a catering and events business. Clifford used to own and run a local fuel company. They still manage the fund and say this year, like all the others, the need is real.
People have money at the beginning to pay the fuel bills, but it starts to dry up with all of the bills and, the gas prices, food costs, I think really takes a strain on an awful lot of people.
The Energy Fund also gets donations from United Way and Project Heat.
These are all mail that just come in today.
But they say the checks from local people and groups are their core funding.
The donations, I've always said, has been a little bit from everybody, and that really works.
Over those 19 years, the Energy Fund has raised and distributed $2.3 million, helping more than 4,000 households.
As you walk by and you drive by and you see them and you'll see healthy kids going to school. You'll see elderly that can go and get their medicines because their heat's taken care of, stuff like that. It's a good feeling.
At its heart, the fund is about neighbors helping neighbors to make sure everyone can once again get through the season of cold. In Bristol, Dawn Kerrigan, News Center, Maine.